Hello out there in YouTube land.
Welcome back to our channel.
It's time for another Elder Goth movie review.
Yes. This is one of our many vampire movies that we tend to go back and watch multiple times a year.
Yes.
It is the incomparable Vamp.
And if you haven't seen this one, you are really missing out.
You really should pick it up and watch it. It's just good.
It is. I mean, it's billed as a horror comedy, but honestly, I think it's definitely more of a horror film than a horror comedy.
It's not a vampire movie that's all fluffy bunnies and romanticism.
No.
It is definitely one that follows kind of the early Hollywood portrayal of the vampire, which is being a king of horror.
Yeah. I mean, it's, has this... I mean, Grace Jones plays this ancient creature who they kind of give like a hint that could have been Cleopatra. And she just does an amazing job with this movie.
She commands the screen anytime she's on it. They chose perfectly for this one to be an ancient vampire.
And she plays the role astoundingly.
Yes.
I can't talk enough about the makeup too, because the makeup and special effects in this movie is, the best you can get. And the fact that it's all practical effects makes it even more outstanding.
Mainly because, when this movie was filmed, special effects was really booming. You didn't have CGI. At least not, the advanced CGI that we see a lot today.
Horror films were still generally done with practical effects. And, while there are bits of comedy in the movie, it is just honestly a horror film. It's not a horror comedy, but I know it's in that list today.
Right.
But it's actually just a horror film. And I say just in the meaning of it really does need to be pretty much only classified in the horror genre.
In the horror realm, yeah.
It kind of starts out as kind of like a buddy movie, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
These two guys are trying to get into a fraternity in college, and there's like a hazing ritual that goes awry tremendously, which is hilarious.
That's your funny part.
Yes. And so then they're like, alright, instead of doing all this nonsense, we'll get a stripper for your big party. And, of course, the other guys in the frat are like, oh, of course, a stripper, that'd be great.
Like, oh, well.
And, yeah, that's where we get into the problems. So the guys are looking at the newspaper at different, advertisements and stuff, and they want to go to a strip club to try out the stripper, essentially. And they see this big ad that has Grace Jones' face on it, which...
Yes.
I don't think that would catch anybody's attention.
Probably would. So of course they're like, "Hey, this is it. This is the gold.
They've never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
This woman, she's top-notch professional.
Yeah.
They're going to be blown away." So they still decide they're going to go down to the club not only to talk to her about doing this, but also to see the show.
Yes. And
that's when we start getting into the funkies.
That's when things start to go awry, as it were.
Because the club is located in, like, a seedy part of the city.
Yeah.
And, it's really funny because, usually cities, when it gets dark, people start coming out to come to clubs and everything.
Yeah.
In this city, people go home and board up windows and stuff. And so it's really kind of unique and entertaining, and they run into this really odd gang, and just all this stuff, and so it's all these little breadcrumbs leading you up to this club that's unlike any other strip club that you've ever seen. And of course it's designed like what you'd expect a vampire strip club to look like. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what your expectations of a vampire strip club are, but
they
to
did
me,
the...
that's what it should look like.
I mean, they did the kind of gothic thing, taking, props from the scene in The Hunger with the Bauhaus and things like that. But they added their own spins on it and stuff, and they make it, this really, classy yet creepy-looking club. And then, of course, Miss Grace Jones comes out and performs.
And there you have it.
Oh, yeah.
They're hooked.
Yeah. I mean, and it's just, she does this kind of interpretive dance.
Mm-hmm.
I'll call it, it's not like a striptease or anything like that. It's an interpretive dance. It's almost undescribable.
It is, and really, you're just gonna have to watch it.
Yeah. And then, of course, you get to see Grace Jones rip a guy's throat out with her teeth, and
there's the horror.
yeah, it's not like, like nice, fuzzy vampires. It's like, oh my god, this is a monster, and she's going to eat me.
It's more, boom, bitch, I'm in your face.
Exactly.
So, there you go.
Yeah. So, it's not what I'll call a comfort movie for Tabby and I, but it's definitely a movie that kind of makes us happy when we watch it.
Yeah. I mean, she's one of, like, the few, I think, female vampires that really just
nails the
it.
part.
I mean,
and,
literally.
It's totally believable that she would be this ancient, like, they kind of allude to the fact that she's Cleopatra, so it's believable that she'd be this ancient Egyptian woman who is drawing in people for her food. And
yes.
It's just amazing. Gives me cold chills just thinking about it.
So, what's your favorite horror comedy? I mean, yes, we're saying, this is probably more towards horror, Vamp is, but there are plenty of horror comedies out there. What's your favorite?
We'd like to know, because, we're always on the hunt for new movies we haven't seen, and new movies to review, and have fun.
Yeah.
So till next time.
Bye.